Welcome back to the Mayorverse, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Today, I'm going to be discussing Gears of War and the future of the Gears of War franchise, and what I think Gears of War, or just Gears as many of you call it, or Gears 5, it was actually called Gears 5, needs to do to be returned to prominence, because we all know that Gears, at one time, was one of Microsoft's top franchises between Halo and Gears of War in the heyday of the Xbox 360. I was really between those two. And many people thought Gears was kind of gonna take the what's the word? Halo had passed the baton to Gears in a way. Obviously, both Halo and Gears are in odd spots right now with what's going on with Halo Infinite. But I recently revisited Gears 5, and I've been playing Gears 5. I've been streaming Gears 5 at twitch.tv/MayorReynolds. Come join me there. I play Gears, but I play all sorts of other games, Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, amongst plenty of other shooters. And I can't ever, every time I go back and I play Gears, and maybe some of you share this experience, you play the game, and it's so refreshing. It's so satisfying. There's very few games that you can play where you get kills that create moments as hype as Gears. And even though a lot of people don't like Gears 5, they didn't like, a lot of pros have complaints about the map design or whatever. I think Gears 5 is incredibly underrated. I think the whole franchise is underrated. But I want to take the time to discuss in this video what I think Gears of War needs to do to get back to prominence, to both, grab those core Gears fans, but also bring the title back into, in one of the most prominent shooters in the gaming industry. Because, in my opinion, it has the DNA, it has the chops to do so, and we just got to change a few things, well, I got 9 of them. Spoilers. I got 9 things that I think Gears needs to do. So I'm actually going to pull up some of my recent gameplay here, and I'm going to show you that while I'm talking. This is from my Twitch streams. So here we go. Here are 9 things Gears of War needs to do to return to prominence. All right. So first of all, I want to talk about what made Gears great to begin with. If you roll things all the way back to the Xbox 360 days, what are we talking? I should have looked it up. What year did Gears of War come out? All the way back then. What made Gears of War great? This is just my personal opinion. It was a cover shooter, which was totally unique at the time, and in today's market, there's very few games that are cover shooters that even can go toe-to-toe with Gears of War. Not a lot of third-person shooters, period. Fortnite's a big one, obviously. The Division's out there. But not a lot of cover shooters, especially with the mechanics of Gears of War. Out there were a few clones at the time, but not really today. It stands as totally unique, which is why Gears 5 still feels great. It's also dark, gritty, violent, yet charming. It's got great characters, a pretty emotional storyline, but also, very laughable moments and lots of jokes and so on. And then flat out the combat, right? The weaponry. The Lancer, one of the best feeling assault rifles ever made. Active reloading, innovative, something new to make reloading interesting. The Gnasher, right? One of the most satisfying shotguns ever made. Grenade tagging. The Retro Lancer, spearing people with the Retro Lancer. The list goes on and on, right? The long shot is headshotting people with the long shot is freaking awesome. Hammer of Dawn. Tons of great weaponry, right? The list goes on and on and on. So that's what initially made Gears great. A lot of other things, but that's what it really boiled down to. And I don't think that Gears has lost those things. We're at Gears 5 now, and I still think Gears has all those things. But for some reasons, which I will cover, and things that can be fixed, Gears is no longer at the level that it once was from a player population, in the eyes of a lot of gamers, and so on. So here we go. Here's where we're gonna start my list of things that Gears needs to do to really flip the script and draw in more players and really go big again. Even though, in my opinion, it never should have stopped. So anyway, here we go. And some of these are subsets of some of these other things. But the first one, when I was playing Gears 5 recently, is the weapon and character skins definitely need to be stepped up. And this is something that luckily is easily done, right? It's not, okay, we need to design better weapons, we need to design better maps. The core of the game is still amazing. You just need to get some better skins across the board, not just some, a lot. I think when you look at, you go through the store in Gears 5, you know, I'm not saying there's not some good stuff in there, because there is, but it's just not at the same level as something like a Fortnite, like an Apex Legends, like an Overwatch, and Halo Infinite has this same issue, to be fair, right? And some people will argue that Halo Infinite does it because they want to be somewhat canonical with their skins and so on. But I think with Gears, you know, Gears already has a lot of crazy stuff in it and over-the-top goofy stuff, right? Like, I don't think Gears needs to be in that position where they're like, oh, all of our skins need to be, you know, realistic or something like that. We need to have better skins that people want to buy, because that investment by players, the coalition can then turn around and put back into the franchise, right? More money is a good thing. And you need skins that people want to unlock. It keeps them playing. At one time, I was not a big fan of skins in games, to be honest with you. I thought they were like a false incentive. You know, it didn't change how fun the game is, but they do keep people playing, and they can be points of pride. And at this point in gaming, they're extremely important. No doubt about it. Gears needs better skins across the board, and that's something that they can do easily, in my opinion. You can hire contractors who specialize, and developers that specialize in weapon skins, and add them to the team. I'm not a game developer. What seems pretty seamlessly. It's not going back to the drawing board in your game design, right? This is skins on weaponry. What seems to, and characters, their armor. It seems to me to be an easy problem to fix, and it is a problem that needs to be fixed, but it's not a tough one. Okay, next one is collabs. Same thing. This goes hand in hand with the skins. Gears has done some collabs. Obviously, there was a Terminator collab in there at launch of Gears 5. You've had celebrities across the board. You've had wrestlers, Ice-T, Halo. But in today's day and age, you need to do a lot of them. Not all games do them, but they've been wildly successful for games like Fortnite. PUBG Mobile has done a ton of collabs, including the boys one, which I was super jealous didn't come to the main game. But collabs are a big thing these days, right? And Gears has dabbled in them. Gears was ahead of its time. They just need to step their game up there. And you don't need to do it in goofy ways. Like, you know, a lot of people don't like Fortnite. It's going to be a lot of Gears fans that don't like Fortnite, most likely. But you have to recognize what they're doing business-wise with their collabs is very intelligent, very successful. And I think even if you just wanted to go with more dark and gritty collabs and stuff, that's fine. They got a million to pull from. Diablo. You know, the coalition, Diablo, after the Xbox acquisition of Bethesda, not Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, completes here very soon. Diablo is going to be under the same roof, owned by the same company. You could do some Diablo collabs. How about Doom? Same thing. Bethesda is part of Microsoft. Let's get the Doomslayer skin in there. We've already got Halo. There's tons of anime or manga that could be collabed with. You know, Berserk comes to mind. That dark, gritty fantasy. You don't have to do crazy, colorful. You know, you don't need to collab with Naruto or you know, Marvel or something like that. There's plenty of other collabs you can do that are still within the life of or the color of Gears of War, so to speak. Which again brings me to another point. The celebrity collabs are genius. Fortnite has done really, really well with this. They've had The Rock. They've had tons of actual likenesses in Fortnite, and Gears started this trend a long time ago. Again with Ice-T. We got Dave Bautista in Gears 5. We got to continue that. It's only going to continue if you get those actors or whoever, streamers, influencers, which is my next point, in the game, and you have them. If you have them actually promoting your game, that's a great thing. That's going to help you. that's my next point, actually, is to get bigger buy-in from influencers, streamers, and gaming orgs. And this is really important in general, both for like the Twitch and the streaming scene, but also the esports scene. Gears has, again, the gameplay is so fun. It's got so much potential. There's personalities like Nick Merckx, who has streamed and played Gears. Dr. Disrespect tried Gears 5 for a couple weeks when it came out, and I thought some of his Gears 5 content was absolutely, I loved it. Let me put it that way. I mean, it was perfect for Doc, who rages and, loves the violent speed and momentum. That's what Gears is about, right? We got to get some bigger, we got to get more streamers really aligned with the Gears of War brand, more celebrities. Keep bringing them in. Don't sell your soul for it, but put in some effort there because it's worth something. And as far as the orgs and the esports go, that's also very important. And some people probably aren't going to like this comment that I'm going to make, but I'm going to make it. So Gears Esports has been a thing for a while. It's shut down right now because of the state of Gears 5 and just what the coalition is doing. We know they're doing both a new game altogether, and then they're doing a Gears game. They have at least 2 games in development. We don't know when either one is coming out, but the coalition wanted to focus their efforts on what comes next, right? And we don't know anything about that yet, so it's tough to speculate. But when it comes to Gears Esports, which, again, I think Gears is a super competitive game, fun to watch, amazing to play, all across the board. No disrespect to the organizations and teams who've historically been involved in Gears Esports, but if Gears Esports is going to be a prominent thing and really make a splash, on the esports scene, so to speak, we got to get like the bigger mainstream orgs involved. And when I think of this, I'm going to use Splitgate for example. Splitgate was a very small game, right? Super competitive, amazing gameplay, new IP, had a very roller coaster ride of a life, and they announced they're moving on to their next project now. But anyway, Splitgate was able to get really large gaming organizations into the Splitgate Pro Series this past season. Big ones that people recognize, and that's what Gears needs. And again, that doesn't mean to shove the legacy organizations aside who've been involved. E United, I think, is involved, has been historically involved in Gears Esports. I think the Pittsburgh Knights. I can't go through the whole list. I think there was like 10 or 11 in the most recent season. But we need buy-in from those bigger orgs, and Microsoft and the coalition and whoever else may be partnered with the next Gears game really needs to go after those orgs and building that Splitgate Pro scene. So those orgs, again, are promoting Gears of War. That's to their audience, and bringing those people in. Extremely important. Okay, and the last thing I have is listen. The last thing, I've got more. The last thing I have under this bullet point is cross promotion, and they've done this. I think they had Gears of War Hot Pockets, right? They've had Gears of War energy drinks out there. Probably, oh god, there was some other snack. I can't remember what it was. And that stuff's all well and good, but they did Gears Pop, and Gears Pop unfortunately flopped. It's actually a good game, but we've got Gears books. Can we actually get something like they've been kicking around a Gears of War movie for a decade now, right? Can we tie in a Gears of War movie to the next Gears game? But I've got an easier thing, in my opinion. Smaller budget, easier to deliver, more likely to be a success, I think, too. And 100% Netflix would go for this. I know not everybody likes Netflix, but Netflix has been just killing it with their gaming series that they make. They got Arcane out there. They're making a ton of game series. They got Sonic Prime coming, Castlevania. There's been a lot of them, and their animated series have not only just gaming, but their animated series in general and anime. Cyberpunk Edgerunners was the most recent one. Have been doing really, really well for them. So, come on, Coalition. Come on, Microsoft. Come on, Netflix. Can we get an animated Gears of War Netflix series? I don't see why not. Let's try it. Let's again tap into. We got to get Gears of War in front of new people, in front of a new audience, and the Netflix audience, I think, would be perfect, timed with the release of a new game. Now we're gonna talk about some actual gameplay stuff, some actual game features, which are obviously important as well. It's not all about the marketing, but this is the first thing I have. Gears of War is known again. I went over the things that it got known for in the beginning that really put it on the map. But some of the other things it has innovated many times, especially in those first 3 or so games. We had, it's iconic, right? Putting a chainsaw on an assault rifle. Executions was innovative at the time. Finishing moves in a shooter. Horde mode in Gears of War 2 was super innovative. It was the talk of the gaming industry when it came out. And since then, Gears hasn't innovated as much. They tried with Gears 5. They tried escape mode. I don't think escape was absolutely terrible. I don't think escape was, a bad thing, or they have to get rid of it. But I don't think it lit anybody on fire. It didn't inspire players. It wasn't a feature that sold the game. Gears needs something again that's really gonna get people excited. It's gonna get Gears fans excited. It's gonna get gamers excited. So when people who've never played Gears of War hear that there's a new Gears of War game out and it's got X in it, what is that X? And this is a lot easier said than done, right? What is it that they're gonna add to the game? Coming up with new ideas and executing them is not easy by any means. So it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, they need to innovate. They need to come up with new features or new modes. The only thing that I could think of, and not everybody's going to like this. A ton of people aren't going to like this, and I don't even know how you would do it. And it's not even necessarily a viable idea. But I thought of something like, could they actually go back to the drawing board? And again, everybody's going to hate this. I'm not suggesting this, that they actually do this. It was one of the only things I could think of as I was sitting here trying to come up with ideas for what could they do differently with Gears. We've got the mainline Gears games. They tried to do like class-based stuff with Judgment. They did Gears Tactics. I thought, could they actually make a Gears FPS? And I think they could. And I think that would be a big deal. But do we actually want Gears to be an FPS? I don't think most of us do. Would I be interested to see them try it? Yeah, I actually would. And I just feel like it'd be one of those things that they could try internally and they'd put it together, and you'd probably lose what makes the series the series. How could you do a cover mechanic so seamlessly and have Gears, lightning quick movement and so on, and roadie running in a first-person setting? Would likely be extremely difficult or flat out impossible. With that said, could somebody make a Gears of War FPS? Probably. Is it what the series needs for its next evolution that's going to carry it forward? Well, it would definitely get people talking. I don't think it would work. But Gears of War needs something overall that's going to get people talking again, because the core gameplay is still as great as ever. That's not the problem. It's not by any means the problem, because Gears 5 has a ton of content, same great gameplay that we love, tons of great characters, tons of great maps, tons of great weapons. So still got Horde mode, it's got escape mode, it's got a campaign. The Gears 5 campaign, I thought, and many thought, was great. It's got Game Pass, to deliver it to a ton of people. So, an innovative new feature to get people talking about Gears again and get people excited would definitely be a win. Got me thinking, kind of on that point. I know we had a map creator for Gears 5, and I think it was only for escape mode, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. I can't believe how long Gears 5 has been out already. It kind of blows my mind. But that's what I got thinking, is what kind of community created content could the next Gears game generate? Because there is a very strong Gears community, right? There truly is. So, could we get some type of like Forge mode to create multiplayer maps that would actually be popular, that would actually be you know, worth people's time. I know Splitgate put out a map editor. I keep talking about Splitgate. I love Splitgate. I love the team at 1047. And it actually generated a lot of hype. People made a lot of cool things. And they're still making stuff, even though 1047 has moved on to their next game. You know, those types of tools, people are still making new stuff in the old Halo Forge modes. We need some type of tool for the community to create Gears of War content of their own. It doesn't even have to be a map editor, I suppose, but it's just the thing that came to mind for me as I sat here and tried to put together my ideas to make this video. And then my last thing, this is one of the only, we're getting into the minutia now, but I had to put this on the list because it drives me crazy, and it's the only issue that I have with Gears of War gameplay. The spawn immunity issue absolutely needs to be fixed, especially in a game that has, you know, ranked competitive matches and pro matches and stuff. Spawn immunity, oh, it drives me insane when somebody's running out of their spawn and you're putting bullets into them and they're taking no damage, and then you get killed because they were immune to damage for X amount of seconds. We gotta fix that. I think it could totally be fixed by just building the spawns differently, make the spawns gated, but make sure your character has to leave the spawn. You can't just stay in there and camp, right? But make it so players can't shoot into the spawn, or you can't shoot out. Design the map so it's like a closed area with a door that opens or whatever. I don't know. Please, for the love of God, fix the spawn immunity issue, because it drives me absolutely nuts. And that feels like a dated game feature. It needs to go. Please, the coalition. Oh, I do got another one. That's not the last one. I got one really big one, an important one. I skipped one on my list. Sorry, guys. Campaign. I like the Gears 5 campaign. I liked it quite a bit. They made some interesting choices. The coalition's obviously been trying to find their own way with the Gears 4 and 5 campaigns since, you know, taking over for Epic. And I have no problem with the cast of characters that we have either. I know not everybody likes that, you know, Delta Squad wasn't the primary protagonist or whatever. Things change. I'm not. They're still involved. It doesn't really bother me. What people have been asking for a long time. Not everybody, but you know, I've thought about this a lot, and I think I would really like it. I would love to see Gears of War do a more actual horror-based campaign. I think that could be a big deal. I think that, especially for people who haven't played a Gears game, you know, we've played a Gears campaign that kind of has the roller coaster ride of crazy action and big set pieces for quite a while now, and they haven't really done anything since the original games to blow our minds campaign-wise. We had some open world elements in Gears 5, and that was fun, that was fine, but it didn't blow many minds. You know, it didn't sell more copies because I had that, I don't think. So personally, I do think that a more horror-focused campaign, double down on the horror elements, I think that would be really fun, and kind of give Gears, you know, there's not many games that have the aesthetic that Gears of War has, especially games with prominent multiplayer modes. You could translate all those horror elements over into the multiplayer. We do have a lot of very dark multiplayer maps, and I love that. I do think it's important to balance those maps with you know, some more colorful settings as well, and I think Gears has historically done that. But I think campaign-wise, that's my number one idea to really get people excited about the Gears campaign again. Is to double down on the actual horror elements, because, you know, no matter what's going on with the story of 4 and 5, I don't think there's many people, even though, again, I like the Gears 5 campaign, that were straight up wowed by it. But I think an actual horror-focused campaign for Gears 6, or whatever they call the next Gears game, could be really fun, shake things up, and hopefully get some people talking and excited, and maybe attract some new players as well. So So that's been my list, guys. That's what I think Gears of War needs to do to return to prominence. But my biggest recommendation to any of you watching this video, whether you're somebody who's never played Gears of War and you just watch my videos, or you're a Gears fan, is don't forget that the Gears games are still available for you to play. They're still amazing. The multiplayer is second to none, extremely unique. Go play them. I guarantee you won't regret going back and revisiting Gears of War and having some fun with it. So, go do it. If you enjoyed the video, guys, you made it this far. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from the next Gears of War game, because that's really important. I want to have this conversation with you guys and see what you guys want. And then come join me on Twitch. Follow me on TikTok. I do gaming news videos over there. All that stuff. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Click the like button, because you have to. I'm about to sneeze.